Back. Uh, the topic today is trustworthy AI. But before we get there, I just wanted to let you know that we're creating from an educational perspective, and it will help you learn a few things simplified way that you can easily connect. But at the same time, we're not affiliated with PMI or Cognitica, so you know just want to make sure that you understand this is not going to give you anything more than understanding and certain knowledge and certain things that are simplified that will help your journey, but this cannot be the only material that you use. So definitely your first uh, go to place should be PMI, their official website, and you should rely on that. But yeah, this may help you see whether you want to get into something like this in future, or if you've already enrolled, this would help you from an understanding point of view. With that, let's go ahead. So trustworthy AI, that's the topic for this particular session. Remember, right? AI done responsibility is AI that delivers value. Uh, but remember, right, if AI can go wrong, and you may have known certain cases across the world, it can really have a bad impact. So, Deloitte is one of the recent examples. Please go through the details. Responsibility is the key, and I would say it's the foundation, like they're saying. I completely agree, at least when it comes to AI. So let's move forward. Sorry, I got some throat issues. Sorry about that. Uh, why responsible AI matters, right? So AI, if AI is used on data, right? Like AI is data heavy, correct? Obviously, you can do few things with lesser data, but it's still data driven, right? And in certain other topics about CPMAI, you'll understand that 80% of the project is dependent on data. Okay, so if the data is biased, it will amplify it, right? And if we do not align it in advance, then it can cause failures. It can impact trust, reputation, compliance, like mentioned here. Yeah, so some of the examples are given here, like loan rejection, healthcare misdiagnosis, recruitment. Right? These are some of the places where, if not responsibly taken care of, it can actually magnify, and you will have an impact which is 10x or more, maybe. Okay, so let's look at what are the six pillars of trustworthy AI, right? And they are transparency, fairness, accountability, reliability, security, governance, decisions. Now, all are important, okay? Uh, but you would want to read more specifically about two of the things here. One is transparency. Also, you will come across these points, not just here, even if you go through the mock tests or the real exam as well, that SHAP and LIME are the tools that are used uh, for explaining the AI decisions, right? So that is one point, and uh, I would like to tell you that it's a tip that please remember it. Then there is something called governance. Track, audit, and document all decisions. So you will come across lot of places where data lineage and all these topics are discussed. Not that other things are not going to come, but I think these two topics definitely will have some or the other questions, or even in reality, right? Like, this is where you'll realize that you have to have good hold on these two topics. But I'll still say that, keep an eye for everything, right? Like, but I still think, fairness, it's my perspective. While you go through the details in your journey, it may be slightly different. So please feel free to comment accordingly. We will re-baseline if required, but that's what I feel. Again, individual perspective. Let's move on. Now comes the part wherein, we're talking about uh, different phases, life cycle, how you see them, right? It is a way of telling that, it's not just, and this will be, or this is something, not just, AI, but I think even in life, right? You should keep trustworthiness across, okay? And these principles of fairness, explainability, governance, okay, these come in different phases, but it also kind of tells me that when it comes to trustworthy AI, it's not phase one, but it's across all phases that we need to uh, keep in mind. Please remember, there will be something on these lines that you may come across while doing some test, okay? But it's a real life thing, okay? It's a very simple thing, that these, like, some core values about life, which is your moral ethics, yeah, you want to keep it across your life cycle, right? Not just when you were kid or young, or grown up, old, married, retired, right? Whatever phase you are in. Okay, good quote. CPMAI doesn't add ethics, it builds in it. Let's go ahead. Now, here is a real world project example. We've kept it very simple and straightforward. Scenario: retail AI system favored higher income customers. Right? So, there is an AI system that's developed and it is favoring higher income customers. uh, what should you do as a solution, as a project manager, right? Or if you're a leader, or if you're a sponsor, okay, what should you do? Okay, so detect bias in training data, rebalance data set for fairness, re-evaluate fairness matrix, retrain and grow, govern drift. Now remember, CPMAI is iterative process. So even if you are in deployment, you can always go back to any of the phases and um you know recalibrate, rebalance, and retrain and change the model based on what the business need is, and based on what the market is demanding, or based on certain challenges that you may come across, which could be model drift, data drift, right? So basically, the end goal is to restore customer trust and compliance, which will lead to one of your key responsibilities, key KPIs of your organizations, right? Okay, let's move forward and see. Okay, that's more about it. Let's do some quiz and understand what do we see here, okay, and how we have learned so far. I'm sure you folks are aware about different phases of CPMAI. Here, this question may look tricky, but if you use your basic uh, logic, which we mentioned about, about your life and all, so it's asking which CPMAI phase defines fairness objectives, right? Which one, right? So, right, at the start, business, when you're deciding on what is the uh, business goal that you're aligning this project with, right? What is the problem you're trying to solve? So, yeah, the answer is phase one. Fairness objectives are set during business understanding. right at the start. Let's look at the second one, transparency principle. It's asking which principle ensures AI outcomes are understandable. Okay. Now you can look from that angle, or it's more like an English question. If you understand English well, I'm sure you will get it. So I'm not going to dwell more about it, but it is transparency. Remember, I've spoken about these two tools. It will keep coming in the journey at multiple places, Lime and Shab. Remember. Okay, the next one. Now this is okay. I've seen uh, even I think eight options coming in one of the like exams. So yeah, six may sound like, why do you have to keep six and someone has to select multiple, but that's how uh, they want to evaluate whether you really understand the concept and the knowledge, and whether you will be able to apply it in the real world. So when these kind of questions come, you may also want to just take a back seat and think on those lines. Don't answer just from learning, but think, right? If you are in the situation in a practical term, what are the things that you would definitely consider to apply when it comes to trustworthy AI? So if you see, one way is you selecting everything, and the other way is you can use processes of elimination. If it's not a direct thing, that's what I recommend to people, that either if it's a direct thing, please pick it up, pick the answer, and move forward. But if not, then use process of elimination. And if you use process of elimination, I think the only thing that we can eliminate here is the speed, because trust has nothing to do with speed, right? But trust has got everything to do with fairness, governance, security, reliability, transparency. Let's see. Yeah, speed is a performance factor, not a trust principle. All right, so key takeaways: a responsible AI, trustworthy AI, sustainable success, right? Ethics across all phases. Remember this: ethics across all phases. Ethics across all things that you do in life. I would say, you know, build it that way, not just for your projects, but even in your personal life. Okay, value comes from balancing innovation with integrity. Okay, so integrity is key. Trust isn't a feature, it's the foundation, right? And in fact, if you ask me, you should use this in your life, not just in your projects. So that's all. Thanks, everyone. Take care and see you on the next one. Bye bye.